Right now, more than 12 million adults over 65 are lying in bed, reaching for a small pill they believe will give them rest. They've been doing this for months, maybe years, trusting that what helps them fall asleep is also keeping their brain safe and healthy. But a landmark study published in one of the most respected medical journals in the world revealed something deeply unsettling about this. 3 of the most commonly used sleep medications have been directly linked to a 54% increased risk of developing dementia. And the most shocking part is that one of them doesn't even require a prescription. It's sitting on pharmacy shelves right now, labeled safe. In this video, you're going to discover the 3 sleep medications that may be silently affecting your brain after 65 years old. You'll learn the exact biological mechanism that connects these pills to memory loss, and why aging brains are especially vulnerable to them. And the last revelation on this list will completely change the way you think about over-the-counter sleep aids that millions trust every night. If this information helps you or someone you love, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so we can keep sharing this content. And leave a comment below telling us, have you or anyone in your family been using sleep medications regularly for more than a few months now? Most people believe that taking a pill to fall asleep is a harmless trade-off, a small chemical nudge that helps the body do what it naturally should. But here's what science has discovered. These medications don't create real sleep, they create sedation, and there is a fundamental difference. Real sleep involves specific brainwave patterns that consolidate memories, clear toxins, and restore cognitive function during the night cycle. Sedation, on the other hand, suppresses brain activity without providing those restorative processes, and over time, this takes a serious toll. The good news is that researchers have also identified safer, evidence-based alternatives that work even better for long-term sleep quality. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia has been shown in clinical trials to outperform prescription sleep drugs in older adults without risk. And the best part is that you can start making changes today, with guidance from your doctor to protect both your sleep and your memory. Sleep medication number 1, benzodiazepines, the drugs most people expect to see on this list but still take without knowing the full story. These include lorazepam, alprazolam, and clonazepam, medications originally designed to treat anxiety but widely prescribed for sleep problems. Benzodiazepines work by enhancing the effect of a brain chemical called GABA, which slows down nerve activity and creates a feeling of calm. But here's the problem. When you take these drugs night after night, they interfere with the natural sleep cycle your brain needs to form memories. A comprehensive meta-analysis that reviewed 12 different cohort and case control studies found a 38% increased dementia risk. And this risk doesn't just appear overnight, it builds up slowly over months and years of regular use, especially in people over 65. Why are older adults more vulnerable to this effect than younger people who take the same drugs for short-term anxiety or occasional insomnia? The answer lies in how aging changes the way your body processes medication. Your liver and kidneys work more slowly, and drugs stay longer. This means that even a standard dose can accumulate in your system, reaching levels that younger adults would never experience with the same pill. On top of that, aging brains are naturally more sensitive to sedatives, and the GABA receptors that benzodiazepines target become more reactive. The result is a double hit. The drug stays in your body longer, and your brain responds more strongly to it, increasing cognitive side effects. Many people taking benzodiazepines for sleep report feeling groggy the next morning, having trouble concentrating or experiencing memory lapses. They often blame aging itself for these symptoms, never connecting them to the pill they took 8 hours earlier that's still active in their system. One of the biggest myths about benzodiazepines is that they help you sleep better, but studies show they actually reduce deep sleep and REM sleep. Deep sleep is when your brain clears out waste products, including amyloid plaques that are linked to Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. REM sleep is when your brain consolidates memories and processes emotions, and suppressing it night after night has long-term cognitive consequences. So while benzodiazepines knock you out quickly, they rob you of the very sleep stages your brain needs to stay sharp and healthy over the years. Another critical issue is dependency. Benzodiazepines are highly addictive, and stopping them abruptly can cause dangerous withdrawal symptoms. Many older adults find themselves trapped. They started taking the medication for a temporary sleep problem, and now they can't sleep without it. This creates a vicious cycle where the brain becomes reliant on the drug, and natural sleep mechanisms shut down, making insomnia even worse over time. If you've been taking benzodiazepines regularly for sleep, the most important thing to know is that you should never stop them suddenly on your own. Abrupt discontinuation can trigger severe withdrawal effects, including seizures, panic attacks, and rebound insomnia that's worse than what you started with. Instead, work with your doctor to create a gradual tapering schedule that allows your brain to slowly readjust to producing its own calming chemicals. A proper taper can take weeks or even months depending on how long you've been taking the medication and at what dose, but it's the safest path. During this process, your doctor may recommend supportive therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, which addresses the root causes. Many people are surprised to discover that after a successful taper, they actually sleep better than they did while taking the medication every night. One common mistake is thinking that occasional use is harmless, but even intermittent benzodiazepine use in older adults carries cognitive and fall risks. Falls are a major concern because these drugs impair balance and reaction time, and a fall at 65 or older can have devastating, life-changing consequences. Studies show that older adults taking benzodiazepines have nearly double the risk of hip fractures compared to those who don't use these medications. So the risks extend beyond dementia alone. They include immediate physical dangers that can happen any night you take the pill and get up in the dark. If you're currently using benzodiazepines for sleep, schedule a medication review with your doctor and ask specifically about safer alternatives. Be honest about how long you've been taking them and whether you've noticed any changes in your memory, balance, or daytime alertness recently. Remember, benzodiazepines were never designed for long-term use, and the evidence is clear. The longer you take them, the higher the cognitive cost. The goal isn't to scare you, it's to empower you with information so you can have an informed conversation about protecting your brain health. Sleep medication number 2. The Z drugs, zolpidem and zopiclone. The pills marketed as the modern, safer alternative to benzodiazepines for sleep. These medications were introduced with great fanfare in the 1990s, promising all the benefits of sleep drugs without the addiction risks. Millions of older adults switched to Z drugs believing they were making a safer choice, and doctors prescribed them more freely for exactly that reason. But here's what the long-term data revealed. Z drugs are not as safe as we were told, especially when it comes to dementia risk in older adults. A large population-based study of adults aged 65 and older found that zolpidem use was associated with a 33% increased dementia risk. And this wasn't a small short-term study. It followed thousands of people for years and controlled for other factors like age, sex, and existing conditions. Even more concerning, the study found a clear dose-response relationship. The higher the cumulative dose, the greater the risk of developing dementia. This tells us that the connection isn't just coincidence. There's a biological mechanism at work that links these drugs directly to cognitive decline. Z drugs work on the same GABA receptors in the brain as benzodiazepines, but they were supposed to be more selective and cause fewer side effects. In reality, they still suppress the natural sleep architecture your brain needs, reducing the amount of deep sleep and REM sleep you get each night. Just like benzodiazepines, Z drugs create sedation rather than true restorative sleep, and over months or years, this robs your brain of critical recovery time. One of the most dangerous myths about Z drugs is that they're non-addictive, but clinical experience tells a very different and much more complicated story. Many people who start taking zolpidem or zopiclone for a short-term sleep problem find themselves unable to sleep without it after just a few weeks. This happens because the brain adapts to the drug's presence and downregulates its own natural sleep-wake regulation systems in response to it. When you try to stop, you experience rebound insomnia that feels worse than your original sleep problem, so you start taking the pill again immediately. This creates the same dependency trap as benzodiazepines, and many older adults end up taking Z drugs nightly for years without realizing the cognitive cost. Another serious concern with Z drugs is the risk of complex sleep behaviors, including sleepwalking, sleep driving, and eating while not fully conscious. These behaviors are more common in older adults and can be extremely dangerous, leading to injuries, accidents, and situations that put lives at risk. The FDA issued strong warnings about these risks, but many people taking Z drugs have never been informed about them by their prescribing doctor. If you've been taking zolpidem or zopiclone regularly, pay attention to whether family members have noticed unusual behavior during the night hours. Have you ever woken up to find food wrappers you don't remember eating, or found your car moved without any memory of driving it during the night? These are red flags that require immediate medical attention, and they're a sign that the medication is affecting your brain in dangerous, unpredictable ways. Beyond the dementia risk and complex behaviors, Z drugs also impair balance and coordination, significantly increasing the risk of falls in older adults. A fall in the middle of the night, while under the influence of zolpidem, can result in a broken hip, head injury, or worse, with life-altering consequences. Studies show that older adults taking Z drugs have a significantly higher rate of emergency room visits for falls compared to those not using sleep medications. So the question becomes, is the temporary relief of falling asleep faster worth the accumulated risks to your memory, safety, and long-term brain health? For most people over 65, Especially those who've been taking Z drugs for months or years, the answer is no, the risks outweigh the benefits. If you're currently using zolpidem or zopiclone, talk to your doctor about a gradual tapering plan, combined with cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. CBT for insomnia teaches you to retrain your brain's natural sleep mechanisms without drugs, and research shows it works better than medication long-term. Many people are skeptical at first, thinking therapy can't possibly replace a pill, but the evidence is overwhelming. CBT produces lasting sleep improvements. Unlike medications that stop working the moment you stop taking them, the skills you learn in CBT continue to help you sleep better for years afterward. One common mistake is thinking that switching from a benzodiazepine to a Z drug is safer, but as you now know, the risks are remarkably similar overall. The real solution isn't finding a better sleep pill, it's addressing the root causes of insomnia through behavioral changes, sleep hygiene, and medical guidance. Sleep medication number 3. Over-the-counter antihistamine sleep aids containing diphenhydramine or doxylamine, the most shocking revelation on this entire list. These are the sleep aids you find on pharmacy shelves everywhere, with no prescription needed, marketed as gentle and safe for occasional sleeplessness. Brand names you recognize instantly line the aisles, promising natural rest, and millions of older adults take them regularly without a second thought. But here's what most people don't know. These over-the-counter sleep aids are the drugs behind the 54% increased dementia risk figure. That stunning statistic comes from a landmark prospective cohort study published in JAMA Internal Medicine, one of the most respected medical journals worldwide. The study followed older adults for years and found that those with the highest cumulative use of anticholinergic drugs had massively elevated dementia risk. And the risk didn't disappear after they stopped taking the medications, it persisted for years, suggesting permanent changes to the brain over time. Diphenhydramine and doxylamine are both anticholinergic drugs, meaning they block acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter absolutely critical for learning and memory formation. Acetylcholine is the brain chemical that allows neurons to communicate during memory consolidation, and blocking it is like cutting the wires in a telephone system. When you take an antihistamine sleep aid, you're not just making yourself drowsy, you're actively interfering with your brain's ability to form new memories. And because these drugs are available without a prescription, most people assume they've been thoroughly tested and proven safe for long-term use in older adults. That assumption is dangerously wrong. Over-the-counter does not mean harmless, and for aging brains, these drugs carry serious, well-documented cognitive risks. The myth that pharmacy shelf products are safer than prescription drugs is one of the most dangerous misconceptions in medicine, especially for people over 65. In reality, diphenhydramine has a stronger anticholinergic effect than many prescription medications, and it stays in an older adult's system for much longer. Your liver and kidneys process drugs more slowly as you age, so a dose that clears a 30-year-old system in 4 hours might linger for 12 in yours. This means that if you take an antihistamine sleep aid at 10 p.m., it's still affecting your brain when you wake up, causing grogginess, confusion, and memory problems. Many older adults taking these sleep aids regularly report feeling foggy during the day, having trouble finding words, or forgetting recent conversations completely. They often attribute these symptoms to normal aging or stress, never suspecting that the over-the-counter pill they took for sleep is the actual culprit. One of the most concerning findings from the JAMA study is that the dementia risk increases with cumulative exposure, meaning every dose adds up over time. The researchers calculated that taking just one anticholinergic sleep aid per night for 3 years could push you into the highest risk category for dementia. And because these medications are available without a prescription, there's no doctor monitoring your use, tracking your cumulative dose, or warning you of risks. Many people take these sleep aids nightly for years without ever discussing it with their doctor, because they don't consider it a real medication worth mentioning. This creates a silent epidemic. Millions of older adults are knowingly exposing themselves to significant dementia risk with a product they bought at the corner pharmacy. Beyond the dementia risk, anticholinergic drugs also cause dry mouth, constipation, blurred vision, urinary retention, and dangerously low blood pressure in older adults. These side effects aren't just uncomfortable, they can lead to serious medical complications like dehydration, falls, urinary tract infections, and emergency room visits. Anticholinergic drugs are specifically listed in the Beers criteria, a widely used guideline of medications that older adults should avoid whenever possible. Yet millions continue taking them every night, unaware that medical experts have identified these exact drugs as inappropriate for their age group and brain health. If you've been using diphenhydramine or doxylamine regularly for sleep, the first step is to talk to your doctor about safer alternatives as soon as possible. Do not stop abruptly if you've been taking these medications nightly for a long time, because your body may have adjusted, and sudden discontinuation can worsen insomnia. Instead, work with your doctor to create a gradual reduction plan while simultaneously addressing the root causes of your sleep problems through behavioral approaches. Ask specifically about your anticholinergic burden, which is the cumulative effect of all medications you're taking that block acetylcholine in the brain and body. Many older adults are taking multiple anticholinergic drugs without realizing it because these effects are found in medications for allergies, overactive bladder, and depression too. The more anticholinergic drugs you take, the higher your risk of cognitive decline, falls, and other serious complications. So reducing this burden is critically important. Here's your action plan. First, make a complete list of every medication you take, including over-the-counter products, vitamins, and herbal supplements right now. Second, schedule a medication review with your doctor and ask specifically about anticholinergic burden, dementia risk, and whether any of your medications appear on Beer's criteria. Third, ask your doctor about cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, which has been proven in clinical trials to work better than sleep drugs long-term without any risks. Fourth, implement basic sleep hygiene. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Get bright light exposure in the morning and avoid screens and caffeine after 4 p.m. Now, important cautions. If you're taking medications for blood pressure, diabetes, blood thinners, or any chronic condition, never change anything without medical supervision first. And if you've been using sleep medications regularly for months or years, work with your doctor on a safe tapering schedule rather than stopping abruptly on your own. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning with a clear mind, walking to the kitchen without that foggy confusion, remembering conversations easily, and feeling truly rested for the first time in years. If this video helped you understand the risks you didn't know about, please hit the like button, share it with someone in your family who needs this information, and check out the 2 recommended videos on screen. Take care of your brain, because every good night of real sleep is an investment in the memories you'll keep for the rest of your life.